me for what I have done. Have mercy. Save the wreck. Full screen.
But the Cenobites, their tastes were not what I imagined. They preyed on my nerves, pulling them in random cycles, stopping just enough so I could never grow numb.
Belgrade, Serbia. A lawyer named Serena Menaker meets a man on a bench named Lawrence on behalf of her employer, billionaire Roland Voit. Serena receives a mysterious package and later goes to the Berkshires at a party being thrown by Voit. She meets a girl named Joey and tells him to go to a room with double doors. Joey goes to the room where he finds a mysterious artifact and meets Voit in person. Voit tells him the artifact is a puzzle, and he encourages Joey to solve it because at least he, Voit, will be rewarded for it. The puzzle item produces a blade that impales Joey through the hand. Moments later, a large hook on a chain pierces Joey's knee before a whole set of hooks digs into his flesh as he screams in pain. Voit then speaks to the entity that produced the puzzle box and demands an audience with the Leviathan. 6 years later, recovering addict Riley McKendry is making love with her boyfriend Trevor. She lives with her brother Matt, who has his boyfriend Colin and roommate Nora in attendance for dinner. After Trevor awkwardly leaves, after telling Riley he loves her and everyone hearing them, Matt expresses distrust of him toward Riley, fearing she is being taken advantage of. Riley goes to Trevor's apartment, where he tells her about a warehouse that he used to deliver that contains something valuable they can steal and turn for a profit. They go at night and break in, where they find a safe containing the puzzle box. When Riley returns home, Matt comes out to find her and suspects she is drunk or has taken pills. They get into a big argument where Riley says Matt just sees her as a screw-up, leading to him ordering Riley to leave. Although Colin tries to stop her, she grabs her things and goes. She takes some pills and walks through a playground, where she begins to mess with the puzzle box. The blade protrudes but misses cutting Riley. She then sees a demon called a Cenobite emerge from the shadows, saying the blade was meant for her. The Cenobite leader, the priest, aka Pinhead, binds the puzzle box to Riley and demands another soul be brought to them. Matt wakes up and goes after Riley, finding her passed out in the playground. He cuts his hand on the puzzle box and takes her to the bathroom so he can clean himself up. The room then begins to change for Matt, and the sink fills up with blood before something appears to grab him, and he screams. Riley runs into the bathroom and finds it empty but calls for help. Medics and police show up at the scene but cannot find Matt, so they just bring Riley back home. In the morning, Colin says the police do not have much to go by with some blood in the sink that may or may not belong to Matt. He questions Riley about what happened, but she cannot explain herself. Riley goes to Trevor and seeks comfort, but she is haunted by visions of the Cenobites. She asks Trevor for help in figuring out where the box came from. He helps her track down Serena, who is now living in an institution, dying from lung cancer. Riley and Trevor explain their situation, and Serena admits she knows about the puzzle box and how Voit was connected to it before his death. She grabs the box from them, but while struggling for it with Riley, Serena's hand gets cut as well. Trevor takes Riley away and Serena is escorted back to her room, where she sees everything in the room shift around before she is also taken by Cenobites. Riley does an investigation on Voigt's background and locates his condemned mansion, which she breaks into. She enters his old room and comes across several pages and drawings on the Cenobites, and more information on the box, which has 6 configurations and provides the user with their greatest desires. Riley then hears Matt's voice calling to her, but when she goes to hug him, she feels that his back has been ripped off. Riley freaks out but is found by Colin, Trevor, and Nora to try and help her. Riley refuses their help, but Colin sits down to chat with her, while Trevor and Nora give them privacy. Riley explains what she learned to Colin, believing Voit wanted to use the box's configurations to resurrect himself. Nora is led into a secret room where she gets trapped and lost. Making her way back, she is found by the still-alive Voit. He stabs Nora with the puzzle box, leading to her being found by the Cenobites. The others hear Nora screaming and rush to help get her out. While they escape, Nora sees a vision of herself entering a room where the Cenobites hook her up, and she begins to pray for help. Pinhead comes out and sticks one of her pins through Nora's neck to make her experience extreme pain. Another Cenobite called the Chatterer takes in some of Nora's blood, which Riley can see, and the hooks pull her back off, leading the others to crash in the shock of things. Riley, Trevor, and Colin get out of the van and start to make their way out on foot when Riley tries to dispose of the puzzle box. Pinhead finds her and tells her that the Cenobites still require 2 more souls, and she cuts Riley's hand to ensure that her soul will be theirs if she fails to find 2 more. The Chatterer goes after them and bites Trevor's arm, but Riley uses the box to stab the Cenobite. Chatterer steps back and accepts his fate as the hooks rip him to bits. The 3 run back into the mansion, which has bars that shift around like the puzzle box's configurations and can keep the Cenobites out. Riley and Colin bring Trevor into a room to rest, where he is found by Voit. He was the one who got Trevor to bring Riley to the box so she would be sacrificed. Riley comes up with a plan using Colin and Trevor's help to lure a Cenobite to them to sacrifice it, preventing her from killing the other 2. The Cenobites follow her inside, but Voit lowers the bars to trap the creatures inside, and he takes the puzzle box and stabs Colin with it. When Trevor yells that he didn't have to do that, Riley realizes his part in leading her to the puzzle box. Voit then explains his story, how he used the box for his configuration to be sensation, but it instead forced the mechanism that twists his nerve endings to make him endure constant pain and never being able to take it off, so he wants his gift to be allowed to die in peace. Colin goes to hide as the Cenobites are coming for him. Riley frees the Cenobites to go after Voit while she tries to save Colin. A Cenobite called the Gasp uses wires to grab Colin and attempt to pull him apart. Trevor attempts to intervene, but Riley stabs him in the chest, sparing Colin and having Trevor pulled into a well by Gasp. Meanwhile, the mechanism in Voigt's body breaks up and the wound seals, but as he faces Pinhead, a giant hook impales him and pulls him toward a bright light. At the same time, Pinhead boasts about having sights to show him due to granting him the gift of power with the Leviathan configuration. The Cenobites find Riley and tell her she has completed the configurations, giving her the option to resurrect Matt. She refuses, seeing how the Cenobites reward others. They tell her that she has chosen to suffer in life, and Pinhead says she picked the Lament configuration and will live with the guilt of her actions. Riley and Colin leave the mansion, with both of them wondering if Riley made the right choices. Voit wakes up in hell, strapped to a cross-like figure. His flesh is flayed apart, completing his transformation into a Cenobite.